So I want pets to be a core focus in my procedural action RPG. But since it's an action game, I need a compelling, real-time mechanic to make pet taming fun, to differentiate from all the other creature collectors. I started my research into designing a pet taming minigame with existing fishing minigames, because they're simple, skill-based, super fun, and I thought it could be adapted to capturing any other animal instead of using a fishing rod, using a lasso. So I love Stardew Valley's fishing minigame, but I'd have to alter it because animals don't like sink up and down. I even tried to prototype a sideways version where you had to press space when the animal passed in the center square, kind of like Guitar Hero, but it wasn't very fun, and the speeds of the animals would have to be crazy unrealistic to make it challenging, so I scratched that idea. Then I considered something like the Undertale fighting mechanic, which I thought is super fun, or the old Club Penguin sledding minigame, where the player would have to lead the animal hooked on a lasso through a forest, dodging obstacles to tame. But pausing an action RPG to play a minigame felt against the spirit of the gameplay, so I scratched that idea as well. Finally, I came across the Breath of Fire 4 fishing mechanic, where I watched as tension grew if you pulled at the wrong time, and the rod turned blue if the fish got too far away. For all of these ideas, I knew I wanted to start the taming engagement with a lasso. So what if the minigame used the lasso in real time, and you had to balance tension and distance? I came up with this simple diagram and requirement, and got building. I considered using Unity hinge joints at first to make a wiggly rope, but they're kind of built more for side-scrolling physics games, but like Pixel World is top-down. So I made a prototype with the line renderer component instead, using a repeating rope texture that I made in Sprite that had a special shader graph that reacts to 3 different variables that apply 3 different colors to the ropes. And those 3 variables I used are tension, where if the player reels in the lasso when the enemy is fleeing away, it turns red. Rope length, or the distance from the animal. If the animal got too far away from you while they're on the lasso, it would start turning blue or cold. And eventually, to limit the player's ability to just run up to the animal, I added the 3rd variable, which is movement, which will now turn the lasso yellow if you move too much until it will break. Each of these have a threshold where the lasso will break and you'll fail the capture of the pet if they get too big. The other component of the minigame is the animal lassoed behavior. As of right now, the animal will flee and rest at random intervals while they're lassoed, giving the player a chance to pull or reel in the animal when the animal is resting. But if you pull when they're fleeing, of course, you increase the tension. Now it's obvious the minigame needs balancing, progression, and different animal behaviors based on the type of animal you're trying to tame. Or even in the future, the type of lasso you could have special lassos. But the basic minigame is built. But how do you acquire a lasso in game? You can now visit the village marketplaces or come across traveling pet merchants who will always sell you a lasso and trade pet for coin. To make the incentives for taming pets even better, I started work on a pet riding feature, which I've always dreamed of having, to allow players to explore Pixel World faster than ever before. Simply equip your pet in the pet slot and go up to them and press E to ride them. I have plans to add pet riding to a skill tree in the future. Don't even have a skill tree right now. So you can upgrade the speed even more and progress as a pet tamer. Well, this wraps up the main additions in an Elf's Best Friend update, but there are many other small bug fixes here and there. You can try out Pixel World right now for free on itch.io, or you can go ahead and wishlist it on Steam for when it comes out next year. Please leave any feedback or bug reports in the Pixel World Bug Report Discord server, and if you like the video, feel free to drop a sub or drop a like. Peace out.